In this video, I want to talk about to differentiate what actually separates the good, that is the God, the divine source, from the evil, the devil, the negative evil spirits. Like how do they operate? Because if you pay attention and if you don't want to be part of the evil, or somewhere in your soul you still know that you've not lived a very good life, but still you want to better yourself, you will be able to see. And for the nice ones, to be aware of what's happening around you and to keep away from evil life. So I want you to give you as much information as possible on how to notice the evil and the good and differentiate from it, from how it looks in the world. So the one primary thing would be, actually, God doesn't tell you be afraid of making decisions. So give your power away so that I'll make decisions for you, and then you can do whatever. That's devil. Because devil wants to take over your life. It's all about control. So the most important power we have is free will. So you making decisions on your own is very important. By hijacking it, because a lot of people are shit scared, coward, weak. You know why? Because you have not done inner work. You're lost in entertainment, you're lost in shallow life, you're okay with loose morals, you're this, you're that. Anything but living a good life. And you have all sorts of habits, whatever it is that makes you weak and coward on the inside. Because that's when you run after power. But at the same time, you are the one who readily gives your power away to somebody. You see the contradiction of how weak you are? Your weak mind shows right there. You are too shit scared of making your own choices and decisions because you want to also escape away from what comes with the consequences of those choices and decisions. So you would rather escape all of it. Without decisions, choice, journey, and the consequences, there is no life. You are literally working for the devil. You don't take your own power to make your own choices and take ownership for, okay, whatever comes with this choice, I'm going to go ahead, live it out and do my best within myself and come out in a way that's good for me. Okay, in a way that works out for me. I may have learned something, I may have learned something about myself or improved in some way or learned more about the world, or maybe came a little closer to truth. Okay, all those things. So without all these, there is no life. And that's what devil wants you to do. So if you look at yourself, you are weak, you're pathetic, you don't have control over your life, you're shit scared of taking decisions and taking actions, that you give your power away for somebody else to do that decision, take that decision for you. That way, you will think when something goes right, this is the weak, cheap ass thing about devil and people who are under it. But something goes right, you want to jump and take credit for it. Shamelessly, you didn't even make the choice, you didn't put in the work, it was just a chance thing. But you shamelessly take credit for it. But oh my, if it goes wrong, you shamelessly blame the other person who made the choice, who made the decision for you, to whom you gave your power away. Either ways, it's a shitty life and it is not of God's. And that's the most common thing I see everywhere in this world. The personal weakness of giving your power away. But when it comes to other people, you are so ready to overpower them, control them, manage them, manipulate them, lie to them to steal from them. Because you don't give a lie, you don't give a fact, you hide a fact, or you add exaggeration, you're lying. Why would you lie? Because you want something from them. Why would you not be honest? Because you know that they would lose more and you would gain more in the transaction, and they should not be aware of it. And if that's not devil, what is? If that's not a shameful life, what is? That's why I went to the root of it, the most fundamental thing. Lying, deceiving, taking from others. And in order to do it, all these cover-ups, and then don't even have balls to take one decision. And the bigger, the more important the decision is, the bigger and more weaker you feel, and the more you cover in fear and go somewhere in the corner and hide and, oh, please, somebody else can make this decision for me so that I can live like a weak ass pathetic parasite all my life. I'll always blame them. You made the choice for me, you made the choice for me, you made the choice for me, you made the choice for me. You live the life of what? Lie, escapism, cheap weakness, blame. And yet you are the same kind of person. You find someone good, positive, kind, nice. You go lie, cheat, manipulate, trick them, deceive them, steal from them. You may even kill them, you may destroy their life emotionally, physically, financially. Abuse them, use them like objects. You are so desperate to overpower them. Like, where did it happen? Where did that kind of commitment and drive go when it was your own life? You can't even dominate your own thought for 1 second and keep it under control, your own emotions. If you feel the need to violate someone's right or privacy or basic dignity or modesty in some way, shape or form so that you can take something from them and you can feel important and powerful, then you are already in the devil's world. You have nowhere near God. You are nowhere near God. And that's what you should be looking at. That's the typical pattern, the typical way of life, lifestyle that these weak ass, devil ass, dark ass people live in. They love to live in the shadows, love to overpower, abuse and use other people, especially the intimate people, intimate partners. Emotional, verbal, psychological, financial. Because God, people who live in God, live in authority of their own life. They don't let anyone come and tell, oh, it's okay. Give your power away. I'll make this choice for you. I'll make a bidding for you. I put a cheap ass contract in front of you. And I'll take your power away. You don't have to worry about making the decision. I'll make it for you. Your life is going to be very easier. People like me, people who walk with God, people who have decency, dignity, the higher qualities. That's why they are strong, and that's why you target that kind of people, because they don't let anybody take their decisions away from their hands. They know the value of their free will. They know there is power in that decision, because they know that it is their life and it is their only. And they would rather live it by making those choices, traveling the journey, taking the consequences to them, own themselves, rather than live a weak as pathetic parasitic life of, oh, who is next to blame, who would I give my power away and give my decisions, and then keep on abusing them forever by saying, you made the decision, you made the decision, you made the decision. No, you made the decision. You know what you did? You gave your free will to somebody else. So you're still fucked. You don't know that. You don't want to know that. You were very happy with living in a lie, living in a delusion, an illusion of control. None of it is there. There is no truth there. There is no control there. There is no power there once you gave your free will away. There is no strength there. Weakness, parasite, pathetic, fear. would rather live under the radar and do shady stuff, not stand in power and do stuff in the light, in the visible, in the owning, the power, the strength. Nah. This is a fundamental difference. Fundamental lifestyle. That is why you don't like strong people. That is why you don't like strong women. You're a bitch. Is that what you call? Yeah, I'm a bitch because it is my life. I own it. Do you? Do you own your life? Do you own your choices? Do you own anything? Or don't tell me what you own in the material world. God is going to take away everything that you took in a wrongful way just in seconds. It won't take that long. You know why? Because you did it the wrong way. Do you have it in you? You can't. That's why you attack strong people, because you want to steal power from them, because you gave your power away to somebody else. You let them take your power away, and then you are here busy scrambling with zero power and weakness and pathetic life choices, lifestyles, habits, partners. Anything and everything in your life is fucked. But so you are rather looking to take that power away from somebody because somebody took it from you, either by force or using authority as an excuse, or you are too weak and shameless, you gave it away and you refused to say no. The next time they came to take it away, you did not have the balls to say no. This from here onwards I will do it. But you are so busy trying to steal that power away from the strong person that you see. You can't handle it. You have to break them down. You have to attack them, humiliate them, abuse them, misuse whatever it is that is good in them, violate them, be aggressive. They stand in their power. You can't. You are shaking in the boots. You have to overpower. You have to hit them like this drunken, alcoholic people coming and hitting their partners or children. You choosing to hurt someone who is not doing anything to hurt you, it says a whole lot about your own weakness and character or lack of it than the person who is taking the beating. Shameful. You attack the person who is actually doing the right thing because you already are working for the devil. Your soul is already there, corrupt, muck, dirty, filled with filth, negativity, jealous, anger, power, control, greed, nastiness, bitterness. You want to hurt somebody to feel important. Like when did that become even in a norm? When I talked about the alcoholic husband hitting wife, which is the most common pattern you see everywhere. It's not like wives do that to husbands and children too, definitely. So I'm talking about you put something in your body. Instead of making you weak or feeling weak like you are in the other parts of your life when you're not drunk, when you're not under the influence of some external substance, instead of making you more weak, how is it that all of a sudden all your darkness comes out? More in power and strength. And you start attacking people that are actually good, not harmful, minding their own business. Someone who you think you have authority over or who are not actively doing anything against you. So you assume they are weak. So you go after them. If that is not spiritual war, if you don't see that substance, whatever you took in, is an evil spirit, that spirit is looking for an opportunity to craving for power, craving to take energy from somebody. And you put it in your body, you let it take control. That's what happened there. Because you're supposed to be weak. You're supposed to be so fucking weak, weaker than your normal waking life. That you should be covering in somewhere darkness, sleeping on the road, or doing something weak. But where did you get the strength to hit somebody, attack somebody, think about anger and bitterness and who do I target and this and that? Because you allowed an evil spirit to take over. That's what happened. You lowered your defenses, your energy, and broke your aura. You let that substance break your aura so much that something evil really came into you. And it was looking to take energy. And it can only take, since it's evil, it can only take energy by hurting somebody. And it's doing exactly that. So you use that spirits. You use those spirits. You use those substances, energies. SEX, with all sorts of random people, you don't even know what kind of energy they carry. Casually opening yourself up to people, or expecting other people to open up to you. So you can get into their energy and attack them and steal from them. That's what devil does. Whereas everything about God is keep to yourself as much as you can. Be on the lookout because there's a lot of thieves, spiritual thieves there. Own your power, take your decisions, don't give your power away to anybody. Don't let anybody be your voice. You be your own voice. That is another thing. People expecting somebody to be the front and then somebody else to be the actual voice behind. Somebody become the mouthpiece. No, you are your own mouthpiece. That's another way of giving your power away. It's your life, it's your story, it's your energy, it's you, it's your mouth, it's your words. So you tell your story. Because when you give it to somebody else for the power to tell your story, they will weave narratives. It won't be a true story. Is it your mother, brother, sister, mother, grandparents, uncles, cousins, friends? Whoever it is, you gave your power away and that's what they're looking for. Once you give your power away, they will weave their own narratives because they have something to gain out of it. If you don't use your own voice, that will happen. My enemies expected the same from me as well. They expected she doesn't have voice. We prepared enough with all the child abuse and trauma and taking her away from her home, stealing her family from her roots, taking away from her roots. We made her mourn the loss of it in her heart. We weighed her down so much that she won't even be able, and we kept her in survival mode for so long, she won't be able to open her mouth and use her voice to tell her story and tell her truth and own it. Because you know what? There is a million narratives, false narratives of my life going around behind my back for decades. And I was quiet. They thought I was stupid. They thought we succeeded. She didn't have a voice. She will never use her voice. We put her down so much and disregarded her opinions and intelligence so much. She will never use it. Use the brain, use the heart, use the mouth, use the voice, use the words. She will not even put her story out there, not in a million years. We traumatized her. At the very least, we kept her so weighed down with all the shit. And we took over control and weaved narratives. And we expect her to not even show up, speak up, and do what she needs to do. They banked on it so much. Let's keep her shut. Let's keep her isolated somewhere invisible. Let nobody see her, hear her. Let her think that everybody disregards her. Just like we disregarded her and her talents and opinions and voices since childhood. Let her assume that narrative, that illusion we created is true. So that she will never speak up. And even if she speaks up, it won't be true. It won't be with true authenticity. Oh boy. That's what happens if you don't own your own voice. Just like you don't own your life and choices and decisions. Take your power back. Your power is in your voice too. Your body. Oh, let's tempt her with distractions. Alcohol, sex, drugs. She's not into drugs. Okay, let's poison her. Bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, we'll keep poisoning her. She won't even know. Anything to take away what's yours. Anything. Stories, narratives, ideas, life, energy, your morality, your body, your health. So number one thing about devil and God, I don't even think I have to go into another other narratives. This is the fundamental and this is all you require, because from there you will understand exactly what is of God and what is of devil. Power. You own it in every way, shape and form, or you give it away and then try to scramble and steal for it from others. Period. That's the fundamental difference. Own your power. Use your power. Stand in your power. You know where your power is? In truth and authenticity. Authenticity means being true to who you are 100%. Truth about everything and anything. Honesty to the core. That's dignity in itself. And if those two things rule in your heart, you're already traveling with God. You're already living in strength, not the weakness way, the cheap as dark as a way which wants to sneak around rather than come and stand in front and do things straight, clear, with dignity, truth. Power. Power is in truth. Power is in truth. The true power is in truth. Because all these weak as powerless games, they don't work once the truth is out. So what is more truthful? What is more powerful? You tell me. You tell me. Living in truth and authenticity and owning your power, standing in it and using it for good, for you, for your own benefit, for positive changes in and around you, that's God. It's not that difficult to see, but that requires a lot of inner work. Because the strength doesn't come from escaping from choices, giving your power away, living a cheap ass life, living a low life, always looking to scramble for somebody or something rather than trying to grow up and do your own thing, take accountability, take ownership and make choices, do the journey, do the inner work, do the healing, like whatever it is necessary. It's a totally different path. You see that. I can see it very clearly. You have to see it too. That's the fundamental difference about the idea of power and control in words of devil and God. God says be control in your own thoughts, mind and body. If you drink, make sure you drink only so much where you don't lose control and power over yourself. Where you don't do things that are out of your character. Where you have to depend on somebody for too much that they take advantage of you. You see what I'm talking about? God talks about power and control, self-control. You have rage and anger or you have unhealed things coming out of you. Know how to control it. Know how to channel it in a way that works for you instead of destructive for you or others. You're sad. Do something about it. Instead of externalizing or using it on others or doing it, hurting it for yourself, know how to control it, know how to manage it. That is what control and power means. Not the way these devil-ass people walking around with weak-ass, pathetic, stupid lives, doing stupid things and criminal, illegal stuff and then thinking, oh, they can't even make one fucking right decision in their entire lives. Where's the fucking power is coming from? There is no power there. It's reeking of weakness, shame, guilt, pervertedness, violations. It's reeking of stinking. It's stinking. Where's the power there? It reeks of weakness on all levels. I don't know who taught you about power and control like that. I don't know. But that is the, for what I said right now is all about power and control and truth and dignity and integrity. That's the only real power is. That's the difference. That's a fundamental difference in how you operate in life, day to day, every day. You expect somebody else to take care of you, to take care of your choices, to take care of your important choices, to take care of things that are of value to you, to take care of your healing, your education, what is supposed to be yours. Then you are already powerless. You are already a leech, parasite, looking for someone to feed on to. And no healthy person, no person in the right mind would want you around them. They are busy building their own life. Why would they want to feed you and then you and then themselves and then somebody else and everybody else? Feeding the inner and outer self of one person in this world is more than enough already. You don't take ownership of your life. It will be something else. But blaming will not change anything. You are using weakness and weak words as an excuse. That's your problem. But blaming or throwing it away on others will not change anything. You are stuck in your own filth. That's what it says. Now that's your filth. You can't expect somebody else and come fix it for you. It was always your job from the beginning. Just because you lived in escapist life doesn't change the facts. And that's what you should be looking out for in your own life and around you. And if there is that kind of weak person around you, you have to have very, very strong boundaries. And say no. When you say no, it should be a no. When you say yes to yourself, when you say yes to good things, it will be a yes. That's power too. Not someone who wavers in here and there all the time. So, that's what it is about. Living in truth or living in lie. Either way, it's your choice only. Even if you made it under the influence of something external. This is something you should be aware of. Because even that is not an excuse. Because my enemies try to use a lot of external substances and seductions or chemicals to put me under, and they can go to God and say, look, she did something, this. But it doesn't matter, right? You are under the influence of something. You see what I'm talking about? So even being under the influence of something, be it black magic, a chemical substance, psychological abuse, or somebody's manipulation or trickery, is not an excuse. Because when it comes to them stealing souls, they will drug, make a girl overdrink, violate, they do damage to the soul. They put her in a place of humiliation and shame and embarrassment. And then let's say she's not as strong. She will take a long time to heal. Let's say she couldn't. The shame is too overburdening. The society also rejects her. She's the victim. She's been victimized. Even society doesn't respect that. So she'll end up doing something to herself. Or maybe she'll end up going down a very, 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 very dark path. Instead of even choosing healing. So what happened now? The devil and its minions, these evil spirits who are in the humans looking and pretending to be human, they sit back and watch. It destroyed another soul. That's all they want. Which side do you want to be on? You make your own choice. Not making a choice is also a choice. It's a weak choice, but still a choice. So there is no living on escapism. Escapism is an illusion. So what's yours will always be yours, and the ownership should be yours. Remember that. Mind, body, soul, properties, ideas, everything that is yours is only yours. Materially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, socially, everything. What's yours is yours only. What's not yours is not yours. And people who are living a lie will always get mixed up in all this, because there is no I there. Look at them, they are all lost. There is no emotional control there. There is no self-respect and dignity there. Pretenses are there. Pretense is there, but if you look past the pretenses, this is what they are. Deranged, very unhealthy, emotionally destructive, abusive, into all sorts of destructive bad habits, perversions, always looking to overpower you or break your boundaries. They're not stable in any way, shape or form, because they are not in control of anything. What about you? How are you taking ownership of who you are and everything in your life? Are you even